Good morning, good morning. This is the 30th March here, and looks like pound yen is moving up over here. Honestly, I thought with this candle closing weak bullish candle, we're going to break the low and continue moving down. But I guess not. I guess not. All right, let's see over here. We shall be very, very patient here today, on this Tuesday here today. Seems like gold reached our targets too, 1700, and dropped even lower than that. 1696, yeah, wow, look at that, came straight down. Especially on the daily candle. We talked about this, we broke out of this consolidation, and boom, coming straight down. I guess this is going to be the final target, around 1680. So let's take a look at pound yen over here. Let's remove all analysis here and let's do fresh analysis on pound yen. Looking on the daily, we're coming back at this rejection area of 151,900. So we're going to put a zone right here, 151,900 obviously, right? Rejection area here. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, also it's kind of like, you know, coming up to that area now. We're not sure whether this 4 hour is going to continue moving bullish or is it just going to, like, you know, kind of like reject and start ranging. So that's something we need to figure out. So remove this and go towards the 1 hour time frame. So we obviously have a resistance forming at this point. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, perfect. That resistance is right there on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. Now at the same time, we have a support being formed at 151,700, right? So looking on the, yeah, that's it, perfect. So we got a support forming on the 15-minute and on the 30-minute time frame. So I guess it's safe to say that if we can break below 151,700, there's a very high probability we can continue down towards, you know, I would say 151,550. Which if we now measure the range, it's like a 15 pip range. If we can drop down further into 24, 25 pips, I think that's going to be much better. Looking at it from a buying perspective, I think if we can break above 151,850, then not only we can fill the wick at 940, but also we can continue moving bullish up till, what's this price, 150, 152. Yeah, we're looking at 152 up today if we break above 151,850. So see what we did there? We basically identified the most recent zones, and then we identified the probable targets if we break through one of these zones. And now I just gotta wait. Good morning, good morning. Clocks changed back in the UK time. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Wow, gold has been amazing. Gold has played out so nice. Let's take a look at this on the weekly. Look at this on the weekly time frame. So picture perfect. This is what we talked about on Friday too. Price made a low right here. We had a retracement. Candle closed with the rejection. Resistance formed and boom, came down to retest the low. All right, we have some people here early in the morning yawning here. I guess what you guys want to do is get some green tea with honey, and you're going to be all good. All right, looking at this 30-minute time frame, looks like we still have some movement coming in. I mean, if we break below 1694, man, this thing is gone till like at least 1691, 1690. Okay, let's take a look at this chart over here by cTrader. And also I'm going to keep an eye on 151,700 here as well. $15-minute time frame, removed the whole position here, got break even. Yeah, I think you managed it really, really strongly. I think you should have kept it open based on a 30-minute time frame. Because if you look on the 30-minute, once we had the candle close above this resistance, it was simple. We had to come up and fill this wick. It was just had to have some sort of confidence based on a high time frame because that wick was a 30-minute wick right here. So just need confidence, right? With confidence, we need to use maybe smaller positions. Like on gold. On gold, I had a 2 lot open. You know, really small. My risk was like $600. I'm like, okay, you know what? If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, then so be it. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a resistance Resistance created, took a sell here. Okay, nice, nice. Runner got stopped out. Closed 90% here, 10 pips. Nice. It's beautiful. You got the counter trend trade, closed below support, and it worked out really well. While we're waiting for pound yen, let's take a look at pound AUD. And let's do a little bit of a breakdown over here on pound AUD and see what's going on. So looking at the daily, is obviously retracing. We're rejecting a support at 1.79800. Let's remove all analysis. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, 4 hours also creating a really strong support, and it's also breaking above one of the resistances here in the 4-hour, but it hasn't really broken the high of the previous 4-hour candle. That's the whole thing. We haven't really broken above the high of the previous 4-hour candle. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, the candle is about to close in 20 minutes. Seems like there is a resistance right here. Let's take a look at that on 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that's the resistance right here. So not only we have this stronger resistance at 1.80500, I think if we break above 1.80500, you have a much better chance for price to move up. You know, at least 22 pips, 23 pips to like 80750, 740, right? Because from here, if we're breaking above this resistance right here, we're not sure whether this candle will reject like these rejections here to the left hand side, or it's going to close above. But if it does close above this area, your range is like 10, 11 pips, right? It's not that big of a range. So I think it's going to be much better to wait for a break above 1.80500. Is it 1.80500, or kind of like a break below the support for price to continue moving bearish, you know, like to have that little bit of a retracement down. All right, let's take a look over here. No trade, buys above. Oh, perfect. Same analysis. Nice, Michael. So I guess I was right. Took a buy looking into the 30-minute time frame, 18 pips booked, full position close. Perfect. This is where we had trust in price coming up to fill that wick. Right now I'm waiting for price to move, probably potential buys above 151.850. There we go. Waiting for the break over here and potential sells. $151,700. That's what I'm looking at here today. My confidence in trading is so much higher these days. My patience is through the roof. Everything you teach is true. Not sure. Remember my dumb eyes. Oh, nice. No, that's amazing. That's the whole point. You know, that's where you want to be. Like, be patient enough that your confidence goes through the roof so much that when you see the point where you should be executing, you execute without hesitation. You know, and that only comes with being patient, like, you know, being really willing to wait for your setups to show up. Like right over here, I know for me to trade within this range, it's gonna have no positive impact at all. There's going to be no positive outcome for me to trade within this range. All I gotta do is wait for price to break below or break above, and then have a possible, like, you know, move up or move down. Would you recommend starting with a $100 account? Yes. Yeah, I think that's a good start. I started with $200 in the start when I started. Entered early but did not wait for the pre-London volume. Oh, what happened over here? Candle closed below support, no trade, executed sells on the break, price came down, closed 50%, 50% hit, stop loss at break even. Okay, so you managed the risk right over here. This was yesterday, I think. Oh, no. Okay, this was earlier on. How many range do you want to see in your, how many pips do you see in your range? I mostly go with like, minimum 15 to 20 pips, you know. The range should be at least 15 to 20 pips. So if we measure this range, this is like a, like, you know, 15 to extend it to like 16, 17 pips. So I still think this is a pretty good range for me to have an intercession trade here. So we'll see what happens once we break below. Bro, I'm trading 0.5 lot on GJ on a 3.5 thousand account. Is that too big or just right? I feel comfortable with this lot size. I think it's good. 0.5, it's good. That means you're risking around close to 2% per trade, which is still okay. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This was a sell, executed sells down here. Oh, nice. TP secured, 15 pips at this point. Yeah, beautiful. I guess the only thing you want to talk to yourself about is like, how did you feel with these retracements, with these rejections, candles closing back in the range? How did you feel about that? Did you take any trades? Just join now. No trades taken so far. I just joined 15 minutes ago as well. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Potential buys, potential sells. Perfect. Zone work is good. Targets are good. Yeah, we're just waiting at this point now. It's a waiting game. I over risk and trust the lower time frame confirmation. I feel like a return. Well, if your act is bringing in positive pip flow, I think that's good. Positive pip flow is always good. How do I join the chat on the screen? You are already joined in the chat on the screen. All right, let's take a look at this GU idea here. No trade range, too much consolidation. Correct. This is a 30-minute chart on GU. Sells below 1.37500. Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good range. We got support, break support, come down, and strong buys above this area. Yeah, it's very nice. We have the perfect zone work, and now we're just waiting at this point. Oh, we got another GJ buys coming in. Look at this 15-minute candle right here. It's got 14 minutes left to close. We're just ranging it. Really tight range. This is GU looking at the same analysis we was looking at the previous chart. You're looking for buys above this area. You have candles drawn, visualized candles. There's something I like. Whenever you're doing analysis, always try to visualize candles. Like, what type of a candle do you want to see? Ideally, in this situation right here, I'd want to see a candle probably close like this. If I see a candle closing like this, I'm taking sells on the next candle to continue down. Straight down right here. Or I want the candle to close bullish like this, and then I'm taking buys on the next candle to continue moving bullish. This is something that I want to see, because the more you visualize, the more you kind of like draw candles in your mind, and once they do appear, you're going to follow through with that visualization. And that's very important, to follow through with the analysis. Like a lot of people, like, you know, when you guys overtrade or over risk, you beat down your confidence so much that when it's time to execute, you don't execute because you've already lost confidence with all the losing trades earlier. Is there a reason why your potential buy isn't above 151,900, but 850 as indicated? Please advise. Yeah, the reason why it's not above 900 is because I'm looking at the 30-minute chart and I'm looking at the 30-minute candle to close above this area. If I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, then obviously, like, you know, then I'm going to be looking at around 151, 890, 900 right over there, those ideas. But I'm trying to catch it on the 30-minute time frame, which is a much stronger confirmation time frame. But if the candles do not close the way I want them to close, then obviously then we're going to look at the 15-minute. You know, so I'm trusting this 30-minute here to form and close, and we'll see what happens. Okay, Euro USD, sell and managing risk, 50 close if it hits the top of the candle wick. Nice. Yeah, this looks good. I think it's like the same situation as gold, trying to come down at this point. All right, let's take a look at forexfactory.com. So in terms of news, we don't have anything happening at this point. I think the only reason, that I could find why gold fell so much was because in the anticipation of really good NFP. We've talked about this on Friday. We talked about this on Sunday. Over the weekend, we talked about this as well. You can see right here, Wednesday, expecting 552,000 from 117,000. That's a huge number. Also on a Friday, look at the 655,000 from 379,000. Right? So this whole NFP is priced in on gold. Because look, in 2 days, the weekly came all the way down to retest the low. All the way down. Now we're stuck on the smaller time frames to see if we're going to continue moving down or not. Still waiting on pound yen. Pound AUD is still over here. Potential buys above, 1.80500 looks good. This is Euro JPY 4-hour chart. Looking for buys above the high. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at Euro JPY. So you're looking at buys above this high at this point. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, we got 10 minutes left for the 30-minute time frame to close. Looking to the left-hand side, we have clean traffic going all the way up towards, it's like 11, 12 pips. Okay, makes sense. Price can essentially move into 129, 720. And then you also have some sort of a rejections around, 640. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, yeah, that makes sense for price to continue bullish. That does make sense. But I think in terms of execution, I would maybe want to execute once the candle closes bullish. Once this 30-minute candle closes above this area, 129,500, maybe that's where I'd want to execute on your JPY. Oh wow, gold is still going. Man, I closed around 1697 and this is at 1693 now. Yeah, I should tap into 1688 at this point, like the way it's moving right now. Should really continue moving bearish to like 1688. Would refloating the boat send gold down as trade can continue back to normal? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Because that's good, that's good for the economy. Yeah, I guess the 15-minute candle was the confirmation here. Candle closed bearish and the next one just continued down. Dropped like 20 pips over here. Why don't you ever trade London? Because I'm sleeping. Simple answers to simple questions. Do you think gold will go down further after the actual NFP? That depends how it comes out. Now the way it's moved, it's already moved like 3,000 pips, almost. So we'll have to see how far will it move at that point.
That was an easy move on gold. Good morning, by the way, Raja. Good morning, team.
Hey. Alright, this candle's also about to close over here. I'll be looking for sells around 151, 695, 694. Should have a good move coming down. Hey, good morning, good morning. Any experience or opinions with BD Swiss? No. No opinions or experience with BD Swiss. Yeah, we should continue dropping here at the 1690, 1691. Would you not consider the daily resistance at 151,920 when taking buys as possible rejection point? No, because on the 30-minute time frame, we created a resistance here on the left-hand side. So that's what I'm waiting for price to break up. If we can break above this area, break and close above, I think we have a very good opportunity to continue bullish. Or if we break and close below, then we can continue bearish. This is what I'm actively looking at here today to get a trade on pound yen. Probably this is going to be my last trade here for the month. Today is going to be the last trade for the months, and then withdrawal time, and then moving on to Dominion markets. Have you ever thought about trading stocks? Yeah, like a lot of people try to force me to trade stocks, but I was like, no, I don't know. I stick to things I know. You know, that's what I do. Oh, wow, look at that. Candles flipping here in the last 5 minutes. 15-minute candles at support. Very delicate situation. Gotta wait for this to close over here. Gold is also continuing down. Let's take a look at this chart in the meanwhile, really quick. Oh, nice buys here on Euro AUD. Price broke above the wicks. You took a buy. Stops below previous candle. Beautiful. Okay, team. The reason why gold fell was because of the dislodged ship that was in the Suez Canal, where 12% of the world economy passes. 1 hour they were able to extract it. Gold fell. Oh, nice. Yeah, see, so all that, it made sense technically too. Look at the weekly. Look at the technicals. Made perfect sense for gold to continue down. And right now it's moving, looks like it's moving further down over here. Probably 1690 looks like a nice even level over here. Looking at pound yen here as well. 4 minutes left for it to close. GG on the 15 minute is disgusting. Yes, it's absolutely trash. Now, one thing I want to see on pound yen on the next 30-minute candle is probably going to be the candle to kind of like move up first before it breaks the low, right? Because if it moves up first, that means it's creating a top wick. And when it comes down to break the low, that means it's already made a top wick. And now when it's breaking the low, we can take a sell and have stop above that wick and then anticipate price to continue bearish. That's something I want to see. You know, for price to continue up first before breaking the low. Looks like your JPY is also trying to close above resistance at this point. Pretty good, pretty good. Look at that. GA is also about to break above this area here. Pound yen is just ranging. Let's take a look at Chinese indicator. Our friends from China, they're saying pound is strong and yen is weak. Makes sense. AUD is weak, even though they're close. So I guess we're going to take this into account. And yeah, let's see what happens over here. Do we break up to go up or do we consolidate? Do you think gold will hold about 1680? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We got 1690, 1691 right over there. So I think it's going to be a much better idea for gold to continue down. Are you in a gold sell? No. I closed my gold sells this morning. Did enough damage on gold. Was pretty surprised the way it fell down so quick. I was hoping maybe till Wednesday we're going to get towards 1700 or 1693. That happened overnight. If you don't see that wick to the top, will you have confidence to take the trade? We'll see. Probably with the lower lot size, but we'll see. Is gold a good play at this point to trade? Gold was a really good point to play if once this candle broke the 15-minute lower right over here. You know, this was the perfect analysis. We had support, candle broke below support, we had a retest over here, resistance formed, and bearish momentum, gold broke the low, continued on moving down. That was a perfect opportunity right over there. I think some people caught that too, based on a 15-minute time frame. There was no way to catch it as it broke the low. It wasn't even breaking the low. It was about the candle closing over here. You know, there's a difference between taking impulse entries and waiting for candles to close. You know, this was a perfect example of a candle closing below these areas, executing on the next candle for price to continue moving down. You know, impulse entries are when price is consolidating or breaking the high or breaking the low, you know, after like, you know, making retracements and stuff like that. But once you have candle closing confirmations, that's when you're executing and trying to come down. Because when you're missing trades based on, like, you know, you were waiting for candle to close or break the low, then you got to take a look at that. Okay, if I missed that trade, how could I have been in that trade? And the most logical answer is, well, this candle was a good confirmation, so maybe I could have entered right over here and anticipated it to respect the high and continue moving down. Candle closing, no wick. Yeah, I don't know what candle you're looking at. But I see a wick over here. I mean, just...
Hey, coach, can I tell you something about it, if you don't mind, about the gold?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, for me, at least, for me, like, it's just easy to say, like, when you're just analyzing after the candles, like, you just see the next candle, but it's just, for me, it's just so hard to execute that trade. So that's my problem, actually. Like, I feel like sometimes I don't have enough balls to execute that trade, or, you know?
Yeah, it takes a long time to really get good at gold. That's the thing. And whenever you're missing trades or you don't have any like you know, confidence to enter the trade, you always got to look at that and say and really ask yourself, how could you have taken that trade? Always ask yourself that. How could you have taken that trade? I repeat this every day.
Yeah.
Right? Always ask yourself, how could you have taken that trade that you missed? Because normally when people miss trades, they're like, oh, I missed this trade. Let me see if I can get down over here or get down over here. You know, and the trade has already gone.
True.
You've missed the trade. So you always have to see, how could you have entered that trade?
Yeah. That's true. That's always true.
Man, that's the light right there.
Yeah.
That's the light at the end of, because like if you're missing executions and you're not looking at the trade to see where you could have executed, and that same thing is going to happen again, and if you haven't looked at it that way, you're never going to be able to execute on it.
Yeah. All right then.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so it looks like we're just ranging here in pound yen. GA is also at resistance. Delicate situation here. Hasn't broken the high, but came up to this high at this point. Gold train is about to leave the building down towards 1691, 1690. This is a very difficult area to enter a sell on gold.
It's really risky, Raja, to take sells right now because you basically have the 1690 around the corner, and that's the target basically. But the stop loss at this point has to be around 1694.75. But you know, the easiest play was when the candle started breaking the previous 15-minute candle that closed bearish. From there, it was easy move. Now I'm wondering, since we only have until tomorrow for this monthly candle to close, then it's gonna be interesting how gold behaves around 1690s. If we start breaking 1690s, there's a huge possibility going to 1680s. And if the moment comes that this candle, the monthly candle, breaks its own low, man, it can be a really bad bluff on gold. Because the monthly candle can easily drive price toward the last target we've been talking about since the first week of this monthly, basically going to 1650s, you know, or even 1600s. It's really scary to think that gold can easily drop toward the 1600s until tomorrow, but there's a huge chance that it can happen though.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just, right now I'm just basically watching what's going to happen at 1690s. And from there, if we break below 1690 and 1690 start acting as resistance, then yeah, it's a huge chance that we're going to go to the next key level. 1680 should be a nice target for today. You never know. At this point, what you don't want to see on gold is heavy liquidity grab to the downside and basically prices start closing above the 1700s. Other than that, we're Gucci going to the 1690 so far.
Yeah, I think a best scenario is going to be a retracement and then a continuation to retest the low and then continue on down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have experienced difficulty or want to invest? Please contact 44738560. All right. Going in the gulag of gulags. Yeah, G just still waiting. GA broke the high over here, but broke the high in the first 4 minutes of this hourly candle. So I'm not sure how confident one's going to be to take the buys over here on GA for price to continue bullish. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I guess if we're breaking the high, maybe. I mean, if this was GJ and if I was taking a buy, I'd probably have my stops down over here in the middle of this range. Ooh, tapped into 1690 here at gold. Still waiting for GJ here to move. How do you define the trend? A trend is defined by when price is making lower highs and lower lows, So if you look on the weekly time frame on gold, you'll see how we're making lower highs and lower lows, had a retracement, created resistance, and then another lower low, lower high for price to continue down to retest the low. This was an amazing, amazing, amazing move on gold. Can I have an applause, coach? TP 1691 sells from 1695. Oh, nice. Very nice. 1691. Yeah, that was a pretty nice entry above there from 1695. All right. Will you enter buys on GJ if the candle closes above 151.850? Yes. On 30-minute, if we close above 151.850, I'm going to be executing buys for price to continue up. So yeah, just waiting here. Just waiting. How do you choose between waiting for candles to break the previous wick or low for taking a trade based on a candle who closed below resistance? I don't understand. Waiting for candle to break the previous low or the high for taking a trade based on a candle who closed below resistance. I mean, if we're closing below resistance and the next candle is breaking the low to continue down, I think that's gonna work, right? But when you have a candle already creating a lower high and a lower low, what's the probability that the next candle is gonna also make a lower high and a lower low? The probability is high. So at that point, there's no reason to wait for the low to break for an impulse entry, because we already have one confirmation of candle making lower high and lower low. We got bearish trend, high time frames are bearish, so it's just a matter of confidence to say that, okay, since the last candle created a lower high and a lower low, what's the probability that the next candle will do the same? And then you're executing based on that confidence. Let's take a look at this 5-minute chart here on gold. Was waiting for candle to break the low, entered when the candle broke the low. Okay. Nice. Stops are above this 5-minute candle, 1691. Close runners here. Beautiful. Nice, Jimmy. Yeah, that was a very nicely executed trade on the 5-minute chart. Take a look at this chart here. This is GU. 10 pips, 90% secure. Let the rest run. We're coming down. I think the only thing you need to be cautious about are these rejections here to the left-hand side. Because you really want this candle to kind of like continue below these wicks. You know, this wick right over here, this wick right over here. Looks like we're still waiting on pound yen at this point. Why you don't enter gold? Because I closed a position just before I got in the stream. Alright, took a dump sell yesterday and had to manage it later on. Got a second chance, but I was already down with second trade on this losing one. Let's take a look over here. Close full position. Pound yen 15-minute candle came down. Entered on the break of the low. Closed halfway. Oh, okay. I guess this was the re-entry right over here. Yeah, this was a re-entry right over here. Because if you entered at this point, your stop was way too big. It was way in that zone. You know. The number one issue I used to face when I first started was I was just selling the lows and buying the highs. You know, as price is moving away from the zones, I was buying the highs in the anticipation it's going to continue. But then it would retrace and then it would try to continue back up. GU waiting for this low to break over here. Okay, yeah, this looks good. Looks good. Seems like we're doing a little bit of a retracement at this time. What was your stops on gold for sell overnight? The sells were basically from Friday. So if you look on the daily time frame, this is where it was. It was from Friday. The stops were kept above the daily candle on 1736.37, and we basically anticipated price to continue bearish as the new week started, because the weekly was also about to close. We were closing bearish, so they were like overwhelming confirmations for price to continue down. Do you think it's advisable to trade alone without the live stream to increase confidence? Yeah, I mean, sure. The only reason we do live streams is to make things more, I would say, like fun, basically. You know, because I think it's fun when everyone, you know, comes around and we kind of like chit chat and have discussions on certain things. Like, it's a fun time. You know, so live streams are by no means to, like, you know, encourage you to copy trades or do this and that, but it's more so to, like, you know, follow through with your own analysis, discuss ideas, send charts. With that strong 30-minute candle close on GJ, would you have to wait for a close if you're looking at selling, or still okay with an impulse sell? See, at this point, I would want this candle to kind of like close bearish and take a sell on the next candle if it continues down, because this is now a pretty big bullish candle. You know, if this size was small, then I would have taken the break of the low, but it's pretty big at this point. So probably going to wait over here. It's probably going to be another 20-minute wait before I execute anything on pound yen. What's your thoughts on order blocks? I have no idea what they are. No clue. I tried studying them back in the day, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and then it just didn't really understand them. What do you think about trailing a stop loss? How tight should I set it? I think stops are trailed above and below candles. You know, if you're looking at a 30-minute candle, 15-minute candle, and if you're seeing that the candles are making lower highs and lower lows, they're basically trailed on top of the candles. And that's how you're basically managing your stops. Because this is how a trend moves, right? A trend goes, makes a low, makes a lower high, makes a lower low, makes a lower high, makes a lower low. And you're basically trailing stops above these highs. And when you look at the candles, candles basically move the same way. You have a candle, next one is going to make a lower low and a lower high, and the next one is going to do the same thing. It's going to make a lower low and a lower high. So you're trailing stops above the highs of the candles. ICT faked his withdrawal and doesn't trade live. Oh, that has nothing to do with the live stream here today. You play a lot of VR games? Yes. I play a lot of Beat Saber. If someone's played Beat Saber, I'm playing Beat Saber on expert mode now. It's really quick, like. Alright, what's happening over here? Do you think there's a swing position available on gold if it respects 1680 on a daily? 1680, so you're looking for potential buys? I don't think so. I don't think potential buys from 1680 would make sense. I think for the time being, we should look at to see that if price is gonna, if you're looking at price bouncing from 1680, you need to see how you can ride price down to 1680 instead of looking for buys from 1680. So that's going to be in your best interest to wait for price to kind of like, you know, because we can see right here with kind of like rejecting, and it's good if it comes up, because if it creates a resistance, we know it can continue moving bearish. Is Dominion Markets opening next week in April? Yes. We got the go ahead from Metacoats. So it's pretty good at this point. Oh, here we go. Pound yen is moving here now. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. April Fool's joke. Yeah, let's see what happens. My wife's cousin is on the world leaderboard at Beat Saber. At one point he was in top 50. Oh, wow. Yeah, Beat Saber is pretty hard. Ooh, GA played out over here. Crazy. See that? We were just talking about GA. Moved up like 14, 15 pips. Nice stop loss too. Stop loss worked out. Move happened just as expected. And if you look at the Chinese indicator, it was correct. Pound strong, AUD weak. Yeah, GA had a very nice move. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Sell limit got activated. I think that's a, yeah, it's pretty risky over there. Sell limit got activated when the candle closed bullish. I don't think that's a good idea to enter a sell at that point. I think a better idea would be to, I mean, it can fall after this, but I would say a safer idea would be to break this low and then continue down, because the previous candle closed bullish, you know, and taking a sell when candle closes bullish is not a good idea. But if it continues down at that say I think that's pretty good, but I would say it's still risky. All right, we're coming down over here. We're about to break the low. Let's see what happens over here. In what instances do you look for 15-minute time frame entry compared to 30 minutes? See, that's a very subjective question. You know, in this state, I would want to see a 30-minute candle close bearish and the next one to break the low to continue down. That's what I would want to see. Can you tell me what's your minimum deposit? I think it's 100. Because I really doubt we can get a close in a 16 pip area without losing 67 pips. Yeah, it depends. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens. All I know is that I have this range and I gotta get 10 to 12 pips out of this range. That's it. I'm not overthinking. All I want to see a break of this low to execute a trade. If that happens, I'm going to execute on it. If it doesn't happen, then whatever, you know, we'll come back tomorrow. Wow, GA really moved over here. Almost 20 pips. So you will wait till the bearish candle closes. As soon as it breaks the low, you enter. It depends what happens at that time. It depends. Obviously, I stated it like 5 times. I want the candle to close and the next one to break the low. Can you enter now? Yeah, I think if you enter a buy and a sell right now, you could possibly win one trade. Win one and lose one and break even for the day. Looks like gold is probably going to continue on its trajectory to the downside. Let's take a look left. What are we looking at? So we're looking at 1687, and then we're looking at 1683. These are the two levels that we're looking at here now for price to continue on. Wow, GA is still running over here now. We're approaching this target right here to the left hand side. Damn. You know, I was about to execute on GA. I was just so close to execute on GA, but then I was like, no, I'm going to wait for my GA.
You don't like the idea of jumping from pair to pair, right?
No, that's a bad idea.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think so too. That's good. I mean, the pairs that you trade, basically, they have enough volume to give you enough for the day, man. It's not worth it trying to go from pair to pair.
You took the trade from 1721 to 1696. What made you so confident? I posted the full breakdown in Slack on Sunday, so I think you need to take a look at that. So that made me confident. Yeah, I guess it's on its way at this point now.
We're going down.
Morning, Raja. Morning, Kerwin.
Hey, morning.
Hello.
Morning. So I'm just looking at gold with you guys. You think like it can easily get to 1683?
Yeah. It's interesting that what's going to happen in the next 30-minute candle from 7:30 to 8. Basically, right now, what you don't want to see is price breaking above the 1694 because the structure is there in the 5 minutes. So at any given point, we can get a rejection from 1690 and retest the 1694. But if price are breaking 1694, then you know the pullback can easily go to the 1690, 1698, 1699, somewhere there.
Great, thanks.
For now, the intraday resistance that I have, the strongest structure that I have is not the 1694, it's 1700. So basically, in my trade, what I want to see is price respecting 1694. I know if we start breaking 1694, we can easily go to the 1700 to retest that area, you know. And if we respect 1700, that doesn't, then it means that we're gonna continue selling gold tomorrow, because it's the monthly candle closing. If we break about 1700, then yeah, it's a huge chance that we're rejecting that 1690s again from the monthly candle, and you know, we can easily drive price toward the 1710, you know, which is 100 pips from 1700. But so far, everything is looking Gucci. It looks like this gold is gonna start trading below the 1690. If we start, you know, trading below 1690, yeah, 1680 is the next target for tomorrow, basically.
Thanks so much,
Even
guys.
lower. Yeah.
What's this over here? This is, if you don't mind, can you take a look at my IG account? Tell me what you think. I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good. You're doing labeling. I don't know why all these boxes are pointing on the same candle, but looks good.
Because of it, I just took it a buy position with the dark candle, so that's why I pointed.
This one?
Oh yeah, that's the one. That 30-minute candle, yes.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Is labeling is fine?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
because
when you do labeling, you should do labeling in a way that if a 5-year-old looks at your chart, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gold is selling bananas.
Yeah, gold is dropping bananas here. All right, let's take a look at this over here. GU. When this candle returns to range, I'm closed 50%. Candle closed below support. Broke the previous high, I'm closing everything, stop out. Okay, what am I doing wrong? I don't know, your arrow is covering the wick, so I'm not sure what's going on over there. Let's take a look here. GU. See, this is another thing which I dislike. When people say, what am I doing wrong? Try to investigate what's happening. You know, I think we all lack investigation skills. So let's look on the 30-minute time frame, right? Candle closed bearish here. Candle closed bearish. Next candle had to break the low to continue down. Did it break the low? Nope, it did not break the low. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute candle closed bearish. Next one had to break the low to continue down. Did it break the low? It did not break the low. Right? Let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame here again. Looking to the left-hand side. This is a rejection area right here. Entire rejection area. Right? So, I mean, it's very simple. It didn't really break the low to continue down. Plus also we were in a rejection area. So, you know, when people investigate relationships, investigate crimes, you should also investigate a loss in the market too, because that's the crime against you, man. Like, market took your money. And if you're not going to investigate that, why it happened, it's going to take your money over and over again. You know, it's like the markets are going to say, oh, this guy doesn't know what's happening. You know, he doesn't investigate. So let's take his money all over again. You know, so you always got to investigate why you're taking this loss, why the price moved against you. What could you have done differently? Could you have waited a little bit longer? And then make notes on that. You know, because if you take a loss and say, oh, I just took another loss, man. All this happens to me. Why? All this happens to me. And then you come back on the charts and try to look for another trade. Or you look on a live stream and see what these guys are doing. That's not going to help you. You know, you take a losing trade, you go back and you're like, okay, how did this happen? What could I have done differently? A lot of people listen to this, listen to what I say, but 99% don't follow through. 99% don't follow through. They send the same whining and bitching and complaining. Oh, I can't win a chart. I can't win a trade. I keep losing because you don't investigate.
Forensic files from a losing trade.
Yeah. Man, when I lose a trade, I'm like, I cannot lose a trade. Why did I lose a trade? I stress over losing a trade. And then I try to investigate, how could I have not taken that loss? Like, you know, put yourself on a higher standard, like when you lose a trade. Yeah, this thing is just ranging over here. The only thing moving is gold, possibly 1687 here.
Yeah, gold is paid everybody.
Hey.
Gold paid people handsomely in the last 2 days.
Yes.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Mac.
How are you doing today, Mac?
Doing good, doing good. Did some cardio. Cardio.
So, what should be the last target for gold, Ted?
I was just watching that. I just got out of my position, to be honest. I think 1685 is a clean exit. But I think what'll happen is at 8 a.m. we may have a big pullback to drop further. But it's weird that we're getting the drop now. That's my concern, that we're getting the drop before the North American session open. So what's going to happen at that point? Because yesterday, as an example, we got that pull up and then the drop, you know, for the North American session, which has been happening regularly, right? So the 7 a.m. candle usually pulls back, and then we know the 8 a.m. candle will smash through when it's in trend. But today, the opposite's happened. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Um, Based on your experience, do you think we have once gold start breaking, if we start breaking 1680s, do you think that gold can easily dip down at least 200 points, like going down, even, from 1680 to 1660s, 1650s?
Yeah. So my thought process right now is we're coming down to the monthly low, which is 1685. Uh, and what'll happen? I mean, when we think about it, today's basically, we're coming into the last couple of days of the month. And this is where I think a lot of people make mistakes with trading is they assume that the market's going to continue to move forever, when in actual fact, um, this is the drop now, probably for the end of the month. But then all you have to do, like Raja was saying earlier, was when you look at your trading and you look at all the trades that you've executed, you'll see that there's particular patterns. And especially with gold, there's always a wick up. There's always, there's usually a bottom wick, things of that nature. So you have to think to yourself, where are those wicks coming from? Like, how are they formed? Obviously, they're formed with counter trend movement, things of that nature. So when we look at the monthly time frames, there's always a wick to the upside. So people that are holding trades right now, you're catching the bottom end of the monthly candle, which is great because I mean we're totally in trend. Don't get trapped in April when the market pulls back. And don't get trapped in thinking that the market's going to pull back and now we're going back up to 2000 or whatever it's going to go. Wait for those confirmations, because you may find next week we have a full reversal of this move back into like 1710 or 1720, and all that is the upper wick for the April candle forming so that it can drop for the rest of the month of April. So I think it's just something that people should be aware of. And as you manage your trades, this is a perfect example. The Monday candle started to form this, bearish trend for the week. Yes, last night during the Asian session, that was your opportunity. As soon as the daily candle flipped, you could then hold that trade because you realize that there was a top wick formed on the daily, and that would push you all the way through. And I mean, obviously, we don't know how deep it's going to go. We're always aiming for, lofty targets, and if it hits, that's great. But like now, you'd be close to 20 or close to 200, 250 pips in profit at that point. So I think as people start to watch gold more often, or any pair, to be honest, if you are able to tell the story with the candles and say, hey, listen, we need an upper wick or we need a lower wick to continue this move, I'm going to take a trade as soon as those wicks are formed, and I'm able to then on the higher time frames expand my trades and get a little bit higher. You'll find that you'll have that opportunity where you'll catch these monster moves, because I think anybody that was trading gold yesterday would have saw the same thing again. Like I said, on the Asian session and then into London as well. Like it was just a continuation of that trend, and the reason why is because we broke up and then we just pushed all the way back down. So keeping that in mind, you don't want to come into the charts now at like 1685 and you're right near a monthly support, and the weekly's already gone bearish, and say, okay, well, I'm going to try and get an entry now, hopefully to hit like 1650 as an example in one day. It probably won't happen. There's going to be a breather this week, and that's where it's going to ruin a lot of people's accounts. And you may find it may be April 1st where gold pulls all the way back, because it needs that monthly wick to go up before it goes down again. So you might find that today is the last day of the bearish movements down to 1685, and then we get a huge pullback. So don't be alarmed. That's basically what I'm saying. Manage your trade accordingly, but don't be surprised if gold rejects and pushes all the way back up, and then you're caught in these, you're caught trying to sell gold, and you're saying to yourself, well, why is this happening? More so when people then start talking about, well, see, if gold is a buy, technically, all it's doing, like I said, is it's pulling back to go further down. So if you learn the story of the chart that you're trading, you'll see those patterns and you'll be able to anticipate what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
It's going to be a no trade range over here. The GJ candle at 3 a.m. on TradingView, would you say that the 30-minute candle wick is the resistance for what price is doing now? Not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, so that's resistance basically 151.850. Ted sounds sick. Did he catch the COVID? No, he caught the success.
No, it's weird. I can't log into Zoom on my computer. I only log in on my phone, so I have to use my headset. That's
Oh.
weird.
Oh.
I apologize.
What do you think about this idea? Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at this idea here. Oh, this is your JPY. Price to close about 129.500. Yeah, it looks good. The same analysis I have on your JPY here as well was looking at buys. Let's take a look at this right here. Yeah, above 129.500. So got clean candle here to the left hand side. This one candle, it was about to close above, but it didn't, and then it closed back in the range. So now we're trying to close above here again. The consolidation no trade zone, is it good? No, it's not. It's not good. This consolidation no trade zone is not good. So that later when the volume can break the consolidation, it will be big move. Yes. Yes, that's true. So if you look right now, price is coming down here slowly. And I think if we start breaking below 151, 695, 690, I think we can have a continuation moving down. I mean, a correction of this move we had earlier on in London session. Let's see what happens. About the problem you spoke before, how did you stop to sell the low and buy the high? How did your trading evolved? The way trading evolved is because was missing trades and started to look to see how could have caught the trade. Like if this candle breaks the lows and continues moving down, and I had no idea about impulse entries or none of that, I would look at that and say that, okay, how could I have executed on that trade? You know, and then we kind of like make assumptions on that, and oh wow, look at that, gold is on its way now, broke the 5-minute low. 1687 is in the vicinity at this point once we cross 1688. These are great days on gold. A lot of volume, lots of momentum. All you got to do is start saying prices and slowly just comes down to those prices.
Yeah. You remember when we said just sell and close your eyes? It's basically that.
Yeah, just sell it.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, I like the 4-hour candle that already did the retest to the previous structure. So, like I said, that area 1700 was the easiest way to trade gold, and now we're basically heading toward the next key level. Trading below 1690 makes price, so good going to the 1685, and that's basically the support on the monthly candle. So the moment gold start breaking 1685, that's why I was asking Ted if he see basically the same thing that I'm looking right now. If gold start breaking below 1685, price, there's a huge chance that can drop easily toward the 1660s. It's like 200 points from there. Oh yeah, man, it's kind of easy, but tricky.
Yeah, I think anybody looking to trade right now, I think if we wait till 8 a.m., you'll have a better opportunity, because I think you may find that this will be a deep push, but you'll get a pullback at 8 a.m. to go further up. potentially, or sorry, further down potentially. So if you're already in the trade, I mean, manage it accordingly. Like I think if you had gotten it obviously at 1695, 1696, I mean now you're sitting pretty. But just be careful with gold because I mean once again you have to realize the North American session hasn't started yet. So the big players that are coming into the market at 8 a.m. haven't seen these prices yet. So you may find that they might drive the price back the opposite way. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, what basically the way I'm looking at gold right now is basically I don't want to call 1680s as a double bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if price goes to 1680s, I'm basically not expecting rejection from there. It's basically a straight drop from there.
Right.
Got these cells on GJ here as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, I got them too.
Talked about it, executed on it, stops at break even, got around, like 10, 11 pips, and that's it. Done for the day here for pound yen over here as well. Was debating on letting the candle close, but then I was like, how many times has it just moved without waiting for the candle to close? I'm like, all right, that's happened like a lot of times. So time to execute on it. And
you're great, Reggie Banks. Very great.
No, you're great, man, because you executed.
Yeah, man. 10 pips secure.
Beautiful. Yeah, so there we go. There's a GJ cell. We called out gold cells. Called out GPAUD buys over here as well. How to differentiate between waiting for candle to close and impulse entry? Honestly, that just takes time and experience. That's it. It just takes time and experience. It took me around 6 months watching impulse entries, watching missing candles like this, and then slowly I started to develop the idea about, okay, how many times is it just going to continue moving without closing or without giving you any confirmations at all? And that happens maybe like 60-70% of the time. Like the more you look at the charts, the more you see missing moves. It goes back to the point I had about investigating, right? Like if you're missing moves, always look to see how could you have been in that trade. And there have been a lot of times where price just drops without waiting for the candle to close, and that's where impulse entries came in. We were consolidating, we're slowly moving into NY open volume, price broke the low. Look right here, potential sells below 151 700. Price broke the low, took the sells, clean candles to the left hand side, and started to come down. So don't be disheartened about the fact that you're missing out on impulse entries. It took me 6 to 7 months to really get confident with impulse entries. So if you're new, just give it time. It's just going to take time. Experience takes time.
Yeah, I think the people, it's funny, I see on YouTube, people are complaining that they missed the trade. You missed the trade because you weren't paying attention to the charts. It has nothing to do with Raja not calling the trade out. It's these opportunities with GJ happen more than enough times because of the way GJ moves. You shouldn't be worried about missing those opportunities. You should have already been watching them, either on the 5-minute charts, watching how the hour candle's moving, giving yourself that opportunity and knowing that there's always a push with GJ towards the end of the hour, things of that nature. I think when people say they miss trades, you're only missing trades because you're not paying attention to the charts. And it's not following your plan. It's not because someone didn't tell you to take the trade. So I think people need to realize that there's many opportunities, and if you're paying attention, you'll see them all the time. You don't need to wait for someone to call them
out. Raja, I like this trade. On the 1 hour, it's clean, rejecting a daily high or daily resistance. I would say the only reason I didn't take this is because the daily high was broken. So I've seen it before where I just wanted to wait for a close, but I'm going to learn from this one.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really look at the daily high at all. All I looked at the most recent zones, and if we can break these zones, where can we head off to? And it just made sense. If we broke below, we can continue down. Why didn't you wait for price to break the wick at 151.670? Because 671, or because then my range would have been smaller. So I was anticipating volume to break through this area, which it did. If you look on the 30-minute candle, was the hammer which closed on 30-minute the trigger for going bearish? Nope. My trigger for going bearish was again below 151.700. You know, so if you go on YouTube, you can go back in the time and you can see how many times I talked about sells below 151.500. No, 700. A lot of times.
Yeah. Also, if you've noticed before this pattern, where the 15-minute candle, starts dropping with barely any wick to the top, and then you go into the 4-hour and you check the closing of the 1-hour 1 a.m. candle, and then the next one is usually a reversal. So that's basically what's happening here. Yeah. You see on the 4-hour time frame, the last the 1 a.m. candle closed bullish, and now we're expecting this one to continue bearish throughout New York.
Yeah, so if you're watching gold right now, we're heading back into the last 15 minutes before the hour close. You can start to see what's happening right now. So there's pullbacks on the smaller time frames. So you'll see that that's a potential pullback for the 8 a.m. open. So what you may find is there's going to be a pull up at 8 a.m. and then it'll start to pull down. And the wick that is made with the 7 a.m. candle to the bottom, to the downside, you may likely fill that at 8 a.m. So if you are watching gold, that's what you should be watching right now. This pullback here is very good for us. It's pulled back, 20 pips, 30 pips. You may have an opportunity then to capture that in the next hour when gold pulls up and then it starts to drop again. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't be trying to enter gold at this point. Don't let it fake you out or psych you into the fact that gold's going to drop down to like 1880 in the next 2 minutes. If it does, you miss the trade. It's not a big deal. But keep in mind that 8 a.m. there's going to be a bit of a pullback to drop. And you don't want to get caught in that whipsaw back and forth. Just manage the trade accordingly as 8 a.m. starts to open.
Wow, this is a pretty good push on GJ here. Congratulations, whoever is in it and caught the whole move till 151.550. Very nice. Clean drops, a little bit of confidence and experience would have made you been in this trade to catch the whole move continuing down over here. So just as before, give a like on the stream if you caught the trade. Give 2 likes if you did not catch a trade, because sooner or later you will.
Hey, question, Rakeel. After that target you have here on GJ, what's the target underneath that?
See, the way I was... Yeah, I mean, this whole area is like a rejection area right over here, right? Because price kind of like created resistances after the Asian Open, and then this is where we're tapping into. But you're right, this little circle you drew right here, this could be the next one once we break below, 151. I would say 151.500 if you break below 151.500.
That makes sense.
But this was the prophecy here for pound yen for today, and it got fulfilled here today. So I'm happy about that. Did you reduce? Yeah. Did you reduce your risk, or did you use your usual risk for this trade? My usual risk, like $900 to $1,000 risk on this trade. What was your biggest mistake in Forex trading, and how much time did you become profitable in? The biggest mistake was over trading and over risking. That was the biggest mistake, and people still make those mistakes today. People over trade, people over risk. They blame their circumstances, they blame everyone else about their trading, but in reality, you can only blame yourself. You just gotta stop over trading, just gotta stop over risking. That's the key. If price makes a bullish candle around 151, 500, would a buy make sense? If it creates a bullish candle, I mean, if its support is formed on 30-minute time frame or maybe a 15-minute time frame, yeah, it could make sense for it to continue up. But I think that's going to be a retracement. So you'll have to see how that forms and how that moves. And especially what time that forms. Do you think there's a lower probability to take trades like this one that are against the trend? No, this wasn't against the trend at all. It was in the direction of very sound technical analysis. That's what it was. Because look, price is creating resistance, price created support. If price breaks support, where will it go? You identify your target. You're like, all right, it's going to go over there. Now, it doesn't matter what the trend is. It doesn't matter what the daily trend is. Doesn't matter what the weekly trend is. Doesn't matter what the monthly trend is. Doesn't even matter about the economy in the UK. It doesn't really matter. What matters is if we break support, where are we heading? We're like, okay, we're heading down to 151, 550. That's all what matters. And that's all what I focus on. I never look at fundamentals unless if it's like, overwhelmingly positive or negative, incoming news. Like on gold, we have positive news with the NFP. We got the ship unstuck, probably, I think, But technically, it made sense on the weekly time frame. Look at the weekly. Technically, it made perfect sense.
Do you still have a runner on that GJ sell, Raja?
No, I closed everything.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, Euro USD paper trade. Price coming down. See this daily? Same idea. Candle closed bearish. Next one broke the low. Straight down. Right? Candles, they follow the candle patterns on all the time frames. It just takes time. High time frame, it's going to take longer amount of time. Smaller time frame, it's going to be quick. Oh wow, Manish, thank you for the free knowledge. Secured nice pips on GJ as your call. Runner still running. Beautiful. Can you take a look at my gold trade on the 5-minute? Let's take a look here. Five-minute mini support, 5-minute mini resistance. Took a short when this candle broke the wick down here. Got 20 pips. Nice. What's going on with your stop loss over here? I think the stop should have been in the middle of a range right here, around 1692. That would have made much more sense, because then you're not expecting the next candle to go back in the range. You're expecting it to continue down. What are your thoughts on PAM service? That's all up to you. That also depends on who you're who you're following, who that person is. So it's not about what my thoughts are on PAM services. It's about how much confidence you have in the guy leading the PAM services. That's the whole idea. You missed the AUD USD move, but it's going down. Oh, nice. All right. Trades called. We had GA buys that ran for 20 pips. We had GJ sells. These are up almost 15 pips. We had gold sells. I don't even know what to talk about gold, but they were just sells.
75 pips so far.
Oh. But yeah, gold fell from all the way from 1694.
That was a very good trade.
Yeah. 1694 straight down.
I always laugh when people say this stream only gets 5 or 10 pips. It's like, yeah, that's when we're not having a good day.
Yeah, that's when things are like up and down. We're like, yeah, not sure what's going on. Take a little loss here and there.
I think people have to remember too, coming in every day doing the exact same thing for now close to 4 years. You know, we have big wins, and to be honest, we've never had a big loss. We've never had a 50 or 60 pip loss like other streams. Other streams have 50 pip losses, 100 pip losses. For some reason, we've never had that.
Yeah, that's true. Like a losses has been like maybe like 6 pip loss, 7 pip loss, really managed losses. That's the one thing.
Yep.
It's interesting when I hear people say that, you know, they catch 100 pips or they catch 50 pips, and then it's like, well, this stream only catches 10 pips. It's like, yeah, well, we don't take 50 pip losses either. You know, I think the biggest loss we've taken here is maybe 10 pips, 15 pips.
Not even, because we always close like 50-80% at 5 pips usually.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this? When you plan to get more guests in future? We are. I contact maybe 3 people a week, and either they get back to me too late or they just don't reply. So it is what it is. Your education around risk management and your trading style compared to other mentors, some of which have experienced yours by far. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Such kind words. Too kind, man. You guys are too kind. Make me blush sometimes. Hey, good morning. Would you take a look at this impulse entry I took? Thank you. All right. Cuento ni Rongenkilo from the Gulag. Sent a chart over here. I remember that name. Cuento ri Rongenkilo.
That's a complicated.
Yeah. Why is this thing upside down? But yeah, looks good.
How do you remember that?
Looks good. Break below the low. Secure 10 pips with stops to break even. Yeah, it's perfect, Cuento. Me and Cuento are buddies, man.
Cuento. You know what cuento means in Spanish? Like a tattletale.
Oh.
Cuento. Like your...
Yeah.
Tienes mucho cuento.
That's true.
Está dando cuento.
Got the email from Magic Keys. Might be another 2 weeks before shipped out. Yes. Yes. Suppliers are facing a global chip shortage.
Yeah, the Suez Canal had 1,000 of them stuck.
Hey, Rakeel.
No, that's not it, Max. Stop spreading fake news here. It wasn't about the...
That's a joke.
Yeah, but...
Look at Raja's face.
I know.
Yeah, it's not a joke because it's about something very important, and we have people who believe you because...
You're gonna believe me, Magic Keys got stuck in the Suez Canal?
Alright. Soon Max is gonna get removed over here.
Ooh.
Yeah, he muted me.
What should be the first partial profit? Should be planned like 10 pips or 5 pips or when I hit 50% of my target. First partial profit is defined by where are you gonna, like, you know, secure profit basically, right? For my rule is simple. Whenever price goes into 10 pip profits, I'm securing 90%, most times 100% of my positions. If I'm securing 90%, I'm putting stops at break even at that time, 100% all the time. Whenever it hits 10 pips, 12 pips. All right, let's see over here. Please bring Johnny Sins as a guest. I don't know who that is.
Hey, Rakeel.
Hello.
Brazil here. Sorry for the question from earlier, man. I can understand you say, I have to investigate my loss, understand it. Now, I'm taking loss on GU and take it profitable and DJ, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, nice. Nice. So you investigated and then you took the trade and then you won the trade.
The weeks have you say, I can understand.
Nice, nice. Oh, Johnny Sin. Oh, okay. Man, the gulag is.
You see what you caused? Jesus, man. Now I gotta answer everyone.
All right, let's see what's happening here. Yeah. Yeah, we're at this point here now where Gigi is now at the strong support over here in the 30-minute time frame. Nothing's really happening at this point. Gold's also starting to consolidate here now after these huge moves coming down in pre-New York. We're at NY Open at this point now. Wow, looks like GU is on its way over here. It's very, very, very bearish at this point. But we're also at a strong rejection area here to the left-hand side as well. What's the expectation from NFP, if it's positive or negative, how it will impact gold? Well, I think it already impacted gold. We look right over here. They're like really, really good numbers that they're expecting right here. So if you look at gold, I think all that news is already priced in with the way gold fell here in the last 2 days. I'll post a link here. I posted a full breakdown on gold. And I think that's going to help a lot of people here to kind of like see what I saw on the weekly time frame. See here. All right. I'll share the link in the Gulag chat for YouTube. There you go. There's a link right there. Please take a look at my FOMO on buy and sell on GJ. All right, let's take a look here by Jayan Patel. Mr. Jayan Patel from YouTube. Let's take a look over here. All right, price made a high in London session. Okay, makes sense. Price broke above previous candle. Makes sense. 2-3 bullish candle formed. Remainder closed. Oh yeah, I guess this candle closing bearish. Bullish, weak, bullish candle. This wasn't a good trade at all. And once we made a resistance over here, it made absolutely no sense to take a buy anticipating a break of the resistance when we didn't break resistance. So that was FOMO. You're correct. And then your second entry was enter on the break of this low over here, which made sense perfectly well. Yeah, that's a good trade. Very nice. Gulag is working here. I mean, we're learning here. New dedicated subscriber here, Raja. Thanks for the great work. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, now we're just chilling over here. I had 2 wins today, 10 and 5 pips on gold. Should I still be satisfied with what I achieved today? Well, you had 2 wins today. You had 2 wins today. You know, we have people here who are in drawdowns. So do you want to be okay with 2 wins, or do you want to look for a 3rd win and potentially risk the 2 wins? Yeah, man, you got to be okay with 2 wins. If you're getting a win, whether it's a 1 cent win or it's like a $10,000 win, you're in the top 10% of people who won today. Right? Top 10% people who won today. So be in the top 10%. Don't put yourself in the top 90% who always lose.
Good morning, Raja. Good morning, team.
Hello, Albert. How are you?
I'm fine, you?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, cool. Just let him try 1 loss and he will feel better.
Just let him try 1 more trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, just one more. Try it. Would you mind having a look and tell me if it was a good analysis in this trade? All right, let's see over here. Since prices are consolidating, so we have some time to look at some charts. Making higher highs and higher lows. 1 hour candle having same direction, breaking highs, 18. Oh, nice. Yeah, it was a pretty good trade. I think it was a little risky because you entered right at the bottom over here, which was really, really, really risky. I think you needed some confirmations too, but it worked out well. I would still say it was very, very risky. Broke resistance, high made, anticipating something to like this to form. Okay, that looks good. So you're waiting for a 30-minute candle to close bullish here for the next one to continue up. That's a good idea. Let's see if that happens or not. I was gone for a bit and missed the GJ shorts. I saw you entered 10 lots instead of 20. Is it because it was impulse without candle? Yeah, it was impulse. Impulse entry, plus it's the end of the month, and I didn't want to risk a lot of profits, so that's why I entered with a lower lot.
If anybody's watching gold, if you're watching the hour candle form, you'll see that it's starting to push a bit. So, you know, if we were talking about that earlier, you may want to look to see where gold's going to move to.
When you trade gold, how do you decide how much risk you want to use? It's up to you how much risk you want to use. Risk is very, very personal. Guys, risk is extremely personal. I mean, I can risk $800 per trade, $200 per trade, $5,000 per trade. Risk is extremely personal. It's totally up to you how much money you want to put on gold or GJ or whatever pair that is. That's totally up to you. If I say 500 is good, can someone afford to risk 500? Oh, looks like someone came on and went off. So, yeah, I think risk is extremely personal. Towards your circumstances, towards your profits, towards your confidence, all those things. USD CAD. Let's take a look at USD CAD here. Oh, we still have the zones here on USD CAD. Let's remove these analyses. Let's remove this blue line someone drew here. Daily is coming up to a rejection area, potential rejection area. 4 hours also coming up to potential rejection area. Also here to the left hand side from the 10th of March. Looking on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we're at this rejection area on USD CAD. So if we can break above, and when we take a look to the left hand side, we need to identify where can price move into. I think right here would be a much better target. Even if we break above 1.26280, we have like a 14-15 pip range for price to continue up. Yeah, it looks good to me so far. I mean, it's rejecting that level. If it comes down to create a support, I think that's going to be a much better indication for price to come down, create support, and then continue moving back up. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is your JPY. Looking for buys when candle breaks above this resistance, about 16 pip range. Yeah, it makes sense. Plus also sells below this area makes sense. These sells would be like kind of like what happened on pound yen, right? Because look at the support and look at the candles, the way they are formed on the left hand side. And let's take a look at GJ here. Look at these, look at the support and the same way the candles are formed on the left hand side right here. The same idea on the left hand side. Your JPY, the same idea over here. So it's just a matter of waiting to see, like, you know, when do we really break below the support, or when do we really break above this resistance? I understand it's really personal. Yeah, because I'm only comfortable risking 1% when I do 2%. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you know, gold moves really fast, so it's really important to kind of like, you know, lower down your risk as well. All right, this is pound yen, sells below 151.500, buys above this area. I think at the same time, if you're looking for buys, you need to take into account this area here as well. You know, so this is going to be your consolidation area here in the 15-minute time frame. You guys must have a big account to be risking 1%. I mean, not necessarily big. People have way bigger accounts than I do. So I'm risking 5% to 7%. I think if you have around like, you know, $2,000, $3,000, even like with like a $5,000 account, you can still go with like 1% risk. Because 1% risk on a $5,000 is like $50. You know, 2% is $100. So even though if you're making $50 a day, $70 a day, that's still pretty good. You know, to be honest, that's still pretty good. Making 50, $60 a day, man, you compound that, that's really good. My MF Jacket gave me stress-free trade on GJ. Oh, nice. Thank you for the $4 over there. Get me 18 eggs for that. I have a confidence issue leaving my runner's run, okay, especially in counter trend trades. I'm afraid that if I close the remaining 20% after taking profits previously, price will easily reverse. Do you think in the long run it's better to let a runner run towards? Yeah, I mean, if you're scared, let 20% run instead of, no, let 10% run instead of what you're letting running. I mean, like, you know, I mean, if you don't like leaving runners run, then just don't let them run. You know, but to really get confidence in letting runners run, you have to literally let them run. And most of the times they will get stopped out. That's normal. Most of the times they will get stopped out. That 1 or 2 times when they don't get stopped out, that's when you're going to make massive, massive gains. Like the gold sell I had from Friday, I was okay with losing like $1,500, $2,000, you know, on that. But I was like, okay, if it does continue running, the gain is going to be much massive than the loss. Because look on the weekly. This is the whole analysis in the weekly. To continue moving down to retest the low. Just like it happens on the 30-minute time frame, happens on a 1-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame. The same thing happened on the weekly time frame. But only had to break this consolidation on a daily. This is gold 30-minute chart. Want to break the 30-minute low to anticipate volume to drop into the 45 pip range below. Yeah, looks good. Looks good for price to break below the low on the 30-minute. We'll see how that shapes up moving into, like, you know, closer to the 4-hour close. Buys above here. See, if you take buys above 151,800, your range is till like 151,900. You see that? There's a resistance right there. So I would say for buys, it's going to be much better to, I mean, okay, let's take a look at this way, right? So if we measure the range from here to here, this is like 10 pips, no trade. I think much better buys are going to be above 151,850 for price to continue up. Above 151,850, because there's literally low, I mean small range going to like, you know, 700, 715, unless if the next candles just continue moving up, that's another story. But like just by technically looking at it, it's just a way smaller range at this time. Oh, Ram Mohan is calling it a day after taking 2 trades today. Beautiful, beautiful. Wins coming in. All right, I'm not sure why you have these 2 balls drawn over here. With, oh, this is what you're looking at. These are candles. Okay. These are
Bro, what is in your mind?
Come on, Rakeel.
Come on, Raja.
I don't know, man. The guy drew things like this.
You have a dirty mind, man.
No, bro. How am I supposed to do that? Those are candles, man.
Which balls have you been looking at, bro?
They don't look at like candles at all.
Your mind is holy.
Oh man. Who sent this? Who was this? Yes.
Kervin, what did you saw? Candles, right?
Yeah, obviously,
Candles,
man.
come on.
Yeah, I saw candles too.
It was clear.
Yeah. Look.
All I see is candles and wicks.
Yeah, that's what I see
Forex
too.
is down.
Looks like guy put helium in the candles. Make them more square. Come on.
Man, you've been playing so much with the BRs, man.
Damn. Yeah, it got me over there. I would be thankful if I could hear your opinion with this idea. All right. Let's take a look at this. Should I take into account these wicks while taking a buy? You should take into account the candle closing above, what's this, 121,550? Oh, 129,500, yeah, above this area. Once you get a close above this area, that's going to give you more confirmation that price can continue moving bullish. Yeah, that's going to be a better thing to look for and wait for. Let's take a look here at your JPY. Yeah, see, we're at this area there. Just chilling. Your JPY is just chilling. Break below this support. Down here, 6 pips, 7 pips. No trade. Yeah, this is extremely dirty over here. Let's just reanalyze these zones here. Looking over to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's extremely tricky. You got a support at this point. With volume, you can anticipate price to break down, but that's only like 12, 13 pips at that time. Gulag stands for go unlearn, then learn about gold. Oh. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Yeah, that idea looks good to me. Leonardo Cruz Herrera. What do you think about my GJ idea? Let's take a look over here. 815. This is a buy you're about to take above this area here. See, this is the problem. Price can move up till 151,700, but then moving back in this zone is something that really kind of like, you know, it's iffy. It's a little bit iffy. Because the only reason price is going to go break above 151,700 is if there's going to be volume, right? And there's nothing to tell us that there's going to be volume for price to break above 151,700, which is where I think a little bit of inexperience comes into play, that if you do take a buy and price breaks above there, that's where you could say like a beginner's luck at that time, right? Where, because like, you know, I've been watching technical levels a lot, so I see this as a potential problem here, 151,700. I don't see a problem above 151,850 though, because we got a clean wick and then clean traffic going all the way up towards 152. Someone said it's a retest, question mark. I mean, retest to go up or down? Yeah, I mean, if we do create like a resistance, then for sure we can go down. But yeah, there's nothing so far happening here. Gold about to close in 12 minutes too, and if we break the low at 1687, 80 or 70, I think we're going to continue moving bearish. Will you trade tomorrow? Yes. Are you still going to take a trade today? No. Maybe on gold sells if we break below this area, if the next candle breaks below.
Can you pull up the chart on the 5 minutes on gold, Raja, so I can let you know what to look for on gold? Probably in the next 45 minutes.
Probably in the next 10 minutes too.
All right. Yeah, right there is fine. So basically on gold, this is basically the nearest resistance that you have here. You know, expect that at any given point, gold can easily break up from here, you know, to the upside. But the moment candles start closing below this area right here, and driving price basically below this area at the break of the second candle, because you will have a pullback, you know. So this is the pullback for the hourly candle. And if then the last 30 minutes before the 1 hour candle close, approaching to the 4 hour candle close, you have a red candle basically closing below this resistance, you know. And then at the confirmation is going to be the second candle forming below that area. So then you can take an easy sell toward this area, and the ultimate target that we're being, you know, looking for 1685 and 1680s. But you will need to wait for this kind of structure, you know, because what's going to happen is most of the traders, you know, they're be calling the setup right now as a bottom for gold buys, and then they will have some sort of candles doing something like this. You have a candle. Hold on. So a candle looking like this, you know, bearish candle. Then they will look for buys above this area, and then what's gonna really happen on gold is probably this type of a structure, you know. And then from the break of this candle, you know that you have a target there, another target, and so on. But don't fall for a bullish candle closing above this area right here, basically, because it's gonna be most likely it's gonna be a fake up. At this point, what is really driving price on gold is gonna be the 4 hour candle, and you wanna go along with the 4 hour candle, going to retest those lows. And like I said earlier, I'm not gonna be calling you know, 1685 or 1680s as a double bottom. I'll be looking for more sells below 1680s, because I know I have a clean traffic toward 1670s and 1660s.
If you missed out on this GJ sell, where is another trade below 151 500 or 300? I honestly think probably going to be above 151 850. Or if we create a resistance somewhere below 700, that could be an opportunity for price to continue moving bearish. Oh wow, look at that. Once gold breaks below 1687.80, I think we're on our way down again, Kervin.
Yeah, I think so.
1686.
Yeah. Because 4 hour candles still have a lot of potential going to 1685, to be honest.
I have a question on GJ Trade. Can you please check it out? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this area here. GJ, why didn't we wait for this candle to break? Because I was confident that if I take a sell somewhere around 151, 690, 680, price is going to continue moving down, and the volume from pre-New York is going to break through this wick to continue down. And that's exactly what happened. So if I would have waited for this wick to break over here, then my range would have been smaller. So that's why it worked. Why do you think controller copies me? Because I think in the live stream business, I'm the best of the best. That's not even tooting my own horn. I just feel like that. And I think he wants to be the same, so that's why people copy. Because like before this live stream, now I'm not bragging or boasting. You know, some may think I'm bragging. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. There were no live streams, but as soon as look at that, break the low, 1687. We're on our way now.
Yeah.
But as soon as we start live streams, now there are so many other live streams popping up. So many other live streams. But that's good. That's making people work. Yeah, this is on its way now, gold.
Yes, sir.
The way you analyze GJ, would you do the same technique or analysis on other major pairs? Yes, it's the same thing. It's the same idea, same analysis, same breakdowns on all the other pairs as well. This is my first analysis. Could you check? I'm learning from you, Mr. Inacio Valencia Laguna. All right, let's take a look here, Mr. Laguna. This is it. Oh, what's happening here? This is the mother of all fibs over here. All right. Oh, wow. Gold is doing a somersault. Not good, not good. Let's go back to the chart.
I think if you had traded gold, you would have caught the pips that you needed off of that because we saw the rejection from the hour candle, similar to what I talked about before this hour started, was we had the upside and you could have put a pending order at 1689 and you would have collected 25 pips off that move and then you could have closed. So if people were paying attention on the stream, they would have seen that. And I think now gold will continue to drop a bit more.
So you're looking to sell on the next zone. I think first of all, you need to remove this fan over here. I'm not saying in a rude way, but you gotta remove that fan. You gotta draw the zone right here. We're at the support, and then you got another support down over here. You got another zone down over here. And all this you can see if you remove your fan. You got kill zones, RSI, EMA, DEMA, volume. Jesus, man. You got everything on that chart. Yeah, gold's going to continue down here now.
Yeah, so you can see you're basically filling the previous wick on the hour. So if you go to the hour chart, Rajan, you'll see exactly what I was talking about an hour ago. We spoke about this. You have that rejection wick, which was because of the North American session opening. So you needed liquidity because remember we said that the institutions that are coming into the market right now wouldn't want that price at 1688. So what you would do is then you would take a trade below that 1688 level, the hour candle rejection, giving you the liquidity to push further down, and now you'll fill that wick. So if you'd taken this trade, it was an easy, I guess, 20 pips profit, no problems.
Yeah. That's good.
And I would close at 1686, to be honest. Like right over here, I would take the close. You're coming in close to the half-hour close, so you may get a pullback again. But this is an easy win. Just close right here. You're good.
Yeah, this is super nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, Ted, I was talking to you a couple weeks ago about Asian session in gold, and you were talking about the 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern candle and how it starts kind of pushing back down.
Yep.
Before that, I was kind of scalping the market open a couple of hours earlier, but I was watching it last night and I caught in on these sells. So really appreciate you shouting out that time.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing, right? A lot of people talk about trading and then they talk about, execution. It's like, if you start to study one pair and you start to see where there's volume moving in the markets, you'll start to see how you can anticipate those structures. In addition, you're able to anticipate where price is going to pull back and why it's going to pull back or where it's going to continue. The more times that you do that, the easier this becomes. And all you're doing is you're just looking for the same setup with that idea and you're putting the story together. Like this trade on gold for the hourly was very, very straightforward. It's textbook. The reason why it's textbook is because of the fact that we had a pullback from the previous hour candle. We knew that we were coming into the North American session, so volume is going to come into play. We also know that in the North American session, when it starts, the institutions don't want the price at that market open. They want a better price. So what are they going to do? They're going to drive it back to get a better entry and then push down. And all you have to do is just wait for that momentum to sweep in with it. And all you're doing is your target is the bottom of that wick on the hourly candle. Once it hits, you're done. Whatever happens now is irrelevant, but that was a nice risk-free, easy trade where you had full confidence that this was what was going to happen. There were no issues with it. Now at 8:30, there could be a bit of a pullback. It can go deeper, but if you're looking for 20 pips with really, no drawdown or, relative ease, that's what you're looking for. And this trade basically took, I guess, one candle, 1 15-minute candle.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Really appreciate you. By any chance, do you know where that volume is coming from on that 9 p.m.?
That's coming from China. So the good thing about gold is because China is heavily invested with gold, they really manipulate it hard. So you sort of have to watch out, because if you watch usually between 9 and 9:30 Eastern in the evening, there's a lot of manipulation. Like in a 5-minute
Holy Moses! Ted,
Oh,
I'm sorry, Ted.
Sorry.
No, you're right, man. That's why I was scalping beforehand, because I wanted to get in and out quick, 30, 40 pips before any of that. But now that I'm kind of watching for it and timing it, I can almost hop in with them.
Yeah. Oh, I guess gold dropped a little bit further than I thought.
Yeah, it's coming down,
Sorry.
man.
That's okay. Kerwin, let us know.
No, I'm sorry, man. My bad. I saw that 1 minute candle dropping so high. I was 150 pips in profit in 2 positions. So, holy.
Yeah, no, that was a great call below 1687 over here.
Yes, sir.
Filled Ted's wick and continued bonus move here. Damn.
Yeah. Now look at the 5-minute candle that I told you to look for. See the second 5-minute candle show up, and at the break of that 5-minute candle, man, it was a round break.
Wow, crazy.
What a good day.
Good day. Great day.
Technically speaking, yeah. If you look at the hour candle, the previous hour candle, if you go to the hourly, you'll see that once we had that wick filled, you could have moved your stops and you could have let it run, or you could have closed. I mean, either one is fine. I think people get excited because they win a trade and they're like, oh, I could have gotten more. But if you're doing this every day, you're going to see this all the time. I mean, you're going to catch 30, 40 pips all the time off of gold. So you're not, these kind of moves are great because they're, 1 minute candle pushes hard. So you haven't closed early. Let's put it that way. You've closed within your risk.
I close everything at 1686. Oh, that's still good, man. 1686. Amazing moves over here. This was the perfect example. I mean, if you weren't confident in taking this wick fill from the get-go, I think this was a very good example of impulse entries as we broke below the low at the 15-minute candle to continue down. So this was the 1 hour wick fill, and then we continue down further on to 1683. Look to the left-hand side. Let's take a look over here. Yeah.
Now we're going so, man.
Yeah. I really like this structure right here that it formed before the drop. It's feeding everybody. We're like little birds, and gold is throwing pips in our mouth. Hey, here for you, pips for you, pips for you.
That's right.
I think if this 30-minute candle on GJ breaks the previous high with a little down wick, the fake out will be confirmed. Oh. Yeah, so far we're coming down on gold. Yeah, I'm not sure. I still think good buys are going to be above 151.850, not in this range. Wow, this is a day for gold here today. 1680 is right there.
I'm proud of you, my brother.
Look at this weekly just coming straight down. To be honest, I was expecting this till Wednesday. At least till Wednesday.
Yeah, the problem is that we have the monthly closing tomorrow, so that's basically we have seen it. So today gold is gonna behave like it's a Friday, the weekly closing. So basically monthly closing tomorrow. If we don't get a strong drop today, we'll get it tomorrow, because then the daily candle is gonna leave enough room to the downside for tomorrow to fill any wick that it can be to the downside. Now, be aware that 1680, the price is stopping right now, can react on, can get some sort of rejections from there. Other than that, man, if we start breaking 1680s today, trust me on this, we're gonna go at least 10 pips more. So, 100 pips more toward 1670s.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, people have to remember, keep in mind with this kind of momentum, the pullbacks are very violent. So, we have a lot of good trades here where they run 30, 40 pips. And I can see people in the chat saying, oh, I wish I would have held. I wish I'd won this. You know what? You're going to be happy when you're consistently doing 20, 30 pips and you're not getting caught in violent pullbacks towards the end of the hour, towards the end of a 4-hour candle. You're going to be happy about that. People that haven't traded gold long enough are looking at these wild moves of 80, 90 pips thinking this happens all the time. This doesn't happen all the time. It's great when it does, but if you can keep steady and do your 10 to 30 pips with gold, these extra moves are great, but it'll protect you, because we're looking at the positives right now with gold, but there's a lot of negatives with gold. It's very, very difficult. When it ranges, you're going to blow your account. So, we look at the good side right now because gold's moving. Gold moved basically, 200 pips in the last 2 hours, but there's days where it doesn't do this. So you have to mentally prepare yourself where, hey, you know what? It's great that it moved the way it did. I caught what I caught, but am I consistently trading gold well where I'm not losing my account? And I think people have to keep that in perspective. Don't look at the dollar. Don't look at the big move that just happened today. That's not happening all the time. So really be careful when you're trading gold and understand that, hey, if you can grab 20, 30 pips from gold consistently, you're doing well, because moves like this don't happen. And if you're looking for these kind of moves, you're also going to get whacked pretty hard with these kind of moves as well.
Mr. GG drop because I was waiting for the close on 15-minute candle. Great teaching tool and happy for those who caught the move. Thanks. Oh, nice. Wow, we tapped into 1680 over here too. Amazing, amazing, amazing plays. Look at that. Daily, strong daily support level tapped in. Wow, if I would have still held from 1696, damn, this is like 150 more pips. That's like $2,500 more over there. Do you think GJ below 150, 141, 540 is good for sells? I think below 380 would be much better. I mean, looking at this over here, you got 14 pips. Yeah, that could work below 151, 500, 540. That could work. Looking on the 4-hour time frame as well, then you're expecting the next 4-hour candle to continue down. 1-hour candle, yeah. Break below this area would be much better. You're right. I call it a day. Thank you, Raja, Ted Kerwin. Thank you, Caesar. Take care. See, Caesar's smart. Caesar got his trade. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah, and also too, now if people are looking at gold and it's just ripped to 1680, you may find there's going to be a pullback, because our next move for volume comes in at 9:30 Eastern. So, you're going to once again think about the market and think about the story the market's telling, right? So if we had this giant move down and the New York Stock Exchange isn't open yet, what do you think is going to happen for the New York Stock Exchange? There's going to be a bit of a pullback to allow now the equity market to absorb the gold movement. So you might get a little bit of a whipsaw and then look towards, 9:30, 10 a.m. Eastern for a continuation move. And that's where Kerwin was saying potentially 1670. That's, a potential target because now you have an additional push in volume. But keep in mind, we've already dropped very, very sizable amount with gold. So don't be surprised if, the New York session pulls all the way back a bit before it continues to drop again. Just be very careful of that.
Yeah, there was a chart sent earlier on where the chart was talking about how they'll be taking buys at 1680, and this is what we talked about. Like, why not look for sells down till 1680? I think price was at 1688 at that time. One trade for me today, GJ win. Nice, nice, nice. This feels like a Friday, to be honest, instead of a Tuesday.
How do you know there will be volume for gold at 9:30? Because of the New York Stock Exchange. So once again, if you're trading gold, and this is where you should be looking, if you are a trader taking finance classes, whether they're online for free, just Google free online finance classes, free economics classes, things of that nature. There's a direct correlation between the equity market and the gold market. When the equity market is running very well, people move money out of gold into the equity market. So that is why you're seeing gold start to drop a bit. When there is, I think hesitations or people are scared or instability, people move their money from the stock market into gold. So there's correlations there. These are things that you will learn in economics classes, learn in finance classes. So if you haven't taken any sort of business, finance, economics courses, you should be taking those for free online. I don't recommend any free courses online. Just Google. Any one of them will suffice. Don't ask where you need to Google stuff. Just go Google free online economics, free online finance, and look at topics related to your trading, interest rates, GDP, GNP, things like that affect commodity or currencies within your pairs that you're trading, and understand how those effects impact your currencies. And then when you're trading, you'll have a little bit more extra tools in your tool belt to manage your trades accordingly.
Wow, there are these free courses over here. Skills you will gain.
Yep.
Wow, Ted, thank you for this information. Economics. You got MIT economics courses. Yeah, it's a crazy. Graduate, undergraduate. Oh, these are available for.
Yeah, so people that haven't taken any finance in school or any economics classes in school, and you want to learn about how the markets react and why they react the way they do, these are simple classes you can take, add to your study, add to your library. And you don't have to know everything about it, but simple rules for supply and demand, how interest rate policies are decided, monetary policies are decided. Those will impact your trading, because now you'll start reading the news, and when they start talking about it, you'll have an idea of why things happen within the currency market as well. And that'll give you a leg up, and it'll help your thought process too. So, I mean, any free courses online will definitely be helping you. If you know nothing, those free courses will help you. Obviously, people will say free is bad, but if you know zero knowledge, free is good, because you're learning something. Obviously, if you've taken finance in school and economics in school, you're going to look at those free classes as a joke. But once again, you don't need to take economics classes if you've already taken them.
Okay. Let's see here. What's the name of the website? Oh, guys, you just have to go to Google and literally type in free economic courses. If you think that's a tough thing to do, I don't think being on the stream is going to help you trade better anyway, because that's way more difficult. Just wanted to say thank you because I started doing backtests like you. My mentality has changed a lot. Oh, nice. Mentality has changed towards trading. That's the first step towards profitability. Can we consider a bearish fake out candle on 30-minute on GJ? No, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see. I mean, if you guys are trying to take a trade within this range, that's totally up to you. If I was looking for a trade on GJ, I'd be looking for a buys above 151, 850, because that's way better that way, or maybe a sell below 151, 515. Yeah, this area right here. But then again, it's like a smaller range, 12 pip range, 13 pip range, so it's difficult at that point. Oh wow, look at gold. Whoever took buys at 1680, you're just getting crashed. Damn.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be calling 1680s as a double bottom. We have seen this a lot of times on gold.
Yep.
But just go with the flow. That's the easiest way to trade gold.
People that keep taking buys on gold are retarded. Sorry for using that word, but it's just stupid. The whole notion of trading like an institution or trading like the big boys is a waste of time. You don't have the resources, you don't have the account balances, you don't have the risk management to do that. And all you're doing is you're just destroying yourself, because you're going to keep adding positions. You're not going to know how to add the positions because you're not going to be able to mathematically calculate your risk overall and your exposure. And all you're going to do is blow your account. Where here, you can just follow the trend, take easy trades. Yeah, is this stupid simple? Of course it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're not doing anything magic here. You can open your own live stream and call the exact same trades. It's not rocket science. But trying to say we got to trade with the big boys and trade with the institutions makes absolutely no sense. We know institutions are buying gold right now at these low prices, but how much can they push this price down to? They can go all the way down into the low 1600s, and you're still going to be buying gold. Your account's going to be gone when you could have easily just sold, waited for a confirmation on higher time frames, and then taken buys to move back up into 1700s if that's indeed what's going to happen with gold. But don't counter trend. It doesn't make any sense. You're getting free money here. Take it, wait for confirmations, and then take it the other way. That's all you have to do.
And to be honest, it doesn't matter, even if it's a penny lot that you're dropping on buying gold. It's a bad habit. Don't fall for that thing, man. It's a bad habit. Trying to buy even though you're basically in drag down of what, $10 because it's 100 points on gold. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself, because in the long term you're not going to learn anything. You basically the easiest way to take it is reducing risk and letting the winning trades run a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that's what people have to realize is take your time. You're going to get moves like this on occasion. You're going to take those trades. We've been on the stream now for almost 4 years. This is not the first day we've seen 100 pips on gold move. We've seen this, I think, probably over a dozen times. So if you're here every day, when these moves happen, you'll be able to take advantage of that, both on the upside and the downside. I mean, we were trading gold when gold was at 1,200, and we were trying to break 1,300 with gold. That's how long this live stream has been going. We were here when gold hit 2,000. We were here when gold broke down past 1,800. Like, we've been through it all, and they're all recorded. So I think the track record speaks for itself in terms of we've seen everything. We know what works and what doesn't work. Trying to hold trades because you think that the institutions are just buying at lower prices and you think you're going to catch that move up, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. From an institutional standpoint, it makes 100% sense, because you know what? Institutions are hedging their financial instruments against other asset classes. So, if you have other commodities, if you have other currencies that you have in your financial mix, you can afford to hedge your positions. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about in their live streams when they talk about trading like institutions, is they don't understand why institutions are doing what they're doing. And they're not necessarily naked buying or selling gold. They're hedging it against their other exposures. So they don't have 100% risk like you do when you're trading one currency pair or one commodity. So you really have to keep that in mind. You really have to understand the market as a whole and also what big banks are doing. Big banks aren't just taking gold buys right now. They have other financial instruments, they have other financial asset classes that they're hedging their risk against. So they're not fully exposed under one certain instrument. And people need to understand that from a financial standpoint and from an institutional standpoint. And that's why retail traders can't trade like the big banks and the big institutions, because you do not have that knowledge of hedging and risk exposure to manage those things. Nor do you have a portfolio that does all that, where you're holding for long-term investments, you're managing risk that way as well. So there's a lot of more variables when it comes to actually trading like an institution, other than, oh, well, they're buying the low right now. It's a lot more than that.
Would like to give some advice for fib traders. I've perfected this strategy for 2 years, going through a roller coaster of emotions. Fibs work when done correctly. Nice, nice. Well done, Trader Joe. Who's drawing these yellow lines? I can see your name. Like when you put anything on the chart, I can see who's doing it. So I don't trade gold as the risk is too high. I'm only comfortable in risking 1%, and gold is about 3-4% per trade. Well, you can lower your lot size and then risk 1%. Alright, someone's getting kicked over here today. Us retail traders have high risk exposure. I think we have high risk appetite. That's what it is. Sometimes us retail traders, we can lose like 5%, 6%, be okay with it. But if you say that to a hedge fund, they'll be like, what? You lost 3%? Lost 4%? Let's see here. What's going on with Archegos capital management if possible? Well, who knows what that is. Let's take a look here. Let's pull it up on Google. This is, little known hedge fund caused widespread chaos on Wall Street. Founded in 2001. What happened here? Oh, they caused losses? Norma hit by losses as a hedge fund. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's the Robinhood guy.
What fascinates me about
your volume is very high when the rest of the stream volume is really low. Yeah. Better mic, better volume. I have a question. Should I keep my account in USD or change into AUD, which is my home country? Does it make any difference? No, it doesn't make any difference at all. When the money comes to your bank account, it gets converted automatically.
Hey, Raja.
Hey, Albert.
Yeah, I have a question. Please, do you know something about Imperial Solution Investment?
No idea.
Okay.
What is that? Do you know?
it seems like they are in Canada and they try to manage. It's like portfolio. What do you call it in English? They are trying to manage how do you call it? Damn.
They're trying to manage funds.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no
But they
idea.
are in Canada, but I don't know if it is real or it is through companies. I don't know. I have some guys in Africa who ask me to check more information about it, and I say I will ask my mentor.
I don't know. I wouldn't give anyone my money to trade.
Okay.
That's a no matter what they show you on Instagram, what magic profits they show, never ever ever give your money to someone to trade.
Okay.
Yeah, never ever ever do that. Because like in the meantime they may like from my experience what I've seen is like down the road all that money goes down the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like Africa is the new let's say a new place to go to try to take some innocence there because they don't do research.
Yeah, they don't do any research like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's much easier that way, so you got to be
Yeah.
very careful.
Thank you.
Even if the trade is legit, they can always go on a losing streak once you invest or have psychological issues. Yes. I've never seen any trader make money on someone else's account. Never. There are a lot of names I can name right now, and there are high profile names, and I'm not going to do it. 30 minute doesn't have a top wick still. Yeah, I mean, this is just, a very, very tight range at this point. Very difficult now, pound yen. It's really, really hard to look for a trade over here. Because let's remove all these analysis. Let's do fresh analysis on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at it on a 4-hour perspective, this candle is about to close in 4 minutes. It's closing below this resistance to the left-hand side, which is good, which may mean maybe this move up was a fake out on the 4-hour time frame, right? Higher time frame. Daily is also rejecting, kind of rejecting. 30 minutes also closing below this area. But at the same time, once this 30-minute candle closes, we are creating a support right here. And I think a break of the support, which is like 151,500, could push price down towards, 151, 350, 370, 15, 16 pip range. That could happen. I think we're also retapping this area to continue down too. So we'll see if the next candles are going to continue down or not. Because here's the thing. If this 4-hour candle closes bearish, and if we want the next 4-hour candle to continue going bearish, on a technical level, on a smaller time frame, we need this support here to break for the overall 4-hour candle to continue bearish. And then we don't want the next one to break above, 151,700. What's this over here? I gave my money to trade to somebody. First 2 days, he doubled my account. Next day, the account was at $0.0. Yes, that's what happens. Hello there, I just joined you. Can you tell me where you are? I am in Canada. Where are you? Any of your family, friends, or relatives asking you to trade for them? Yes, they ask, and I always say no. Because that's a lot of responsibility, and most people don't know their risk. It's just a bad. It's a formula that doesn't work. And man, trust me, when people show that they're successful, they wouldn't need your money to trade. At the end of the day. That's what it is. And I think with that, I'm going to call it a day over here. It's almost 9 a.m. My time to end has come. The next time of volume, I think Ted already talked about this. It's going to be NYSE 9:30 a.m. Eastern in about 30 minutes. You see pound yen is ranging right now. I think the next break is going to come in about 30 minutes when New York Stock Exchange opens with volume. Also gold, you're going to see some moves here too.
Yeah, thank you, Raja. Thank you, team. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Later.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Raja.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Don't lose those profits. Secure the
Thank you,
bag.
guys.
Yeah, call it a day.
Call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. And people just like the stream, subscribe, because this helps a lot of people learn the correct way. And like, you know, I mean, hey man, free money, free analysis. Today literally gave free money on gold.
Yeah.
Literally, it was free money right here below 1687.
Beautiful moves.
Raja Banks, the only banks
See,
can give you
that's
money.
the big difference trading gold in a huge range other than trading gold outside the range. Since yesterday was an easy, clean move to the downside.
You know what I found is the last year I've been looking at gold. What I found is that when we have higher time frame zones, just like, you know, like 70 pips away, 80 pips away, the smaller time frames, 5 minute, 15 minute, you will see those huge pushes towards those zones all the time. When it doesn't work is when you have, like, let's say smaller ranges on 30 minute and 1 hour, but on the high time frame, you have big ranges coming on, and you got high volume times like pre-New York, New York Open. The small time frames work amazing.
Can we get 1,500 likes before we go? I mean, it's 9 a.m. so let's call it a day.
1,500. Okay, let me go like my.
Yeah, 1,200 so far. Let's see if we can get 1,500 in the next 2 minutes. If not, then we're leaving.
Man, first thing I see. Okay.
There you go. There you go. That's my people. I love seeing that. Cheers. 1,300. Let's go.
As soon as I clicked thumbs up, it went from 1,200 to 1,300.
1,400.
Beautiful. 1,400. Beautiful. It's like when we're trading gold. It's running nice.
The cases are going up. Nice.
Very nice.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, 1478. Oh, 1,500.
There you go. 1,500 in less than 2 minutes. In less than 1 minute, actually.
Yeah, man. You
The
guys are
target
awesome.
is 2K.
Beautiful.
Target
Beautiful.
is 2K.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow then.
All right, take care. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a big day tomorrow. We got ADP tomorrow.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting though.
Yeah. I mean, where else will gold go now with NSP and ADP?
Yeah, so sub 1,600s. I mean, if we go to the 1660, 1650, it should be nice. Let's see. Beautiful.
Yeah, 1670s I see at the end of the wick over here on the monthly time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if the next monthly candle will wick up to continue down, or will it wick down to reject?
Yeah. I mean, this monthly candle, you know, is side by side with this one right here. The monthly candle, yeah. Yeah, monthly candle, you know, is basically side by side with this one. So expect that we can easily come toward this area. It's basically the same candle from here. Tried to broke above that area, rejected it. So most likely we're coming this area with the monthly candle. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. All right, boys and girls, have a good day. Don't overtrade. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brazil.